What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever. Period. I'm your host, Pharaoh.
I don't got shit to say.
Lee.
I don't have anything to motherfucking say. Ain't no purr. Ain't no period. Ain't no real in reality, bitch. There's no reality.
I am so sorry for your loss. We can get a moment of let's just get a moment of silence. Amen. Lee gonna say that moment of silence for the rest of the podcast. Child, I ain't
what
gonna.
The fuck is funny?
T-Core's out. Unfortunately, we're here.
Says, take me to. I don't have nothing to bring.
Oh, my heart is torn to pieces. It's my offering. Child, T-Core's out.
At the throne.
Need alone to gaze upon your glory.
That's a hit.
Now, this is what I will say, and this is what I will mean. Rubina.
And chemo.
Don't piss me off. Because if you were ready to be head shield in charge and you didn't even do that, then what the fuck did you do?
All I know is if chemo and Rubina don't win HOH, what are y'all here for?
What the
Because T-Core dragged y'all asses, y'all big grown asses, to top 7. Now you're here. We thought y'all was going to be shields and buffers. Couldn't even be that. If y'all do not win HOH tonight, there will be a problem.
There will be a problem because
avenge her. At least avenge T-Core.
Somebody said they were flopping for what we saw. They were doing the two worst. They were doing the two worst towers. So I don't have much hope for Rubina and chemo, and I never really did. And it really does piss me off that T-Core has to leave this way, because I'm always gonna think back to when T-Core risked her game to save Rubina ass, all for Rubina to stay over her, and that's gonna piss me off for the rest of my life. Especially if Rubina don't do shit with that.
Yeah, at the time I was really happy about the moment for them, but Rubina should have left.
Rubina should have left. They got a little too happy. They got a little too happy, and here we are. Shit, chemo probably going next. Before both of them.
It's a good chance.
Both of them before Rubina, and it's like fuck.
Chelsea trying to make sure it's Leah.
Save her for what? Thank God for Chelsea. Hopefully. Please. Because at the end of the episode, we're seeing the HOH competition play out, and no tea, no shade, Angela was eating it up.
Angela was devouring that competition.
Fuck, Angela, why are you so good at these comps? And the only other person who kind of like was readjusting to the same setup that Angela had was at the end. You see Chelsea putting those same things that Angela had at the bottom of hers, more stable foundation. So I'm like, okay, maybe Chelsea can pull it out and not lose this, because if Chelsea goes home next, God forbid, girl, if she is a woman of God.
Chelsea goes home next,
then in the season, we don't need a double, we need a quadruple in their final 2.
Send them all home.
Send them all home.
Fuck up out of here.
Send them all the fuck home. So I not even gonna speak that into existence. Chelsea is the winner of the season. There's no other contender. There's no other person who will do it. She can't even go home even if they tried. And I'm gonna just put that in the air, because other than that, there needs to be no other energy towards Chelsea. Not right now. Not today. Girl. And that episode, the way they played in her face on that episode, well, the way they told the truth on that episode about Chelsea,
Yeah, and I had tweeted that out. I was like, girl, this is a terrible night for my black women. Because Chelsea getting a delusional edit, T-Core going home.
Yeah.
I hated it so bad. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was the edit, but it's also Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea
And
love for some Cam.
I don't get it, mamas. He doesn't smell good. Let me stop saying it. But she keeps saying it. But anyways, I'm pulled up.
Oh, Trace Humphreys kind of spilling. I need Chelsea to play in that double though. And that's a spill.
Ooh.
I
But if
don't
Rubina and
necessarily
Kimo not gonna win,
I don't necessarily want Chelsea to win HOH. I just don't want Angela to win.
that's literally same. Literally same. I really need Cam to finally step up and do something and be a man. And then take Angela out this week, and then Chelsea can win the double and take Leah out. If Angela and Leah go home at this double, if it's Angela and Leah, or Leah then Angela, or Leah then Angela, then Angela and then Leah and then Langela, if they go home at this double, Chelsea got the game. Chelsea has the game because T-Core is out. Let me remove her. Oh,
Do you have to remove her?
I have to remove everybody else.
Yeah, but this is T-Core.
And where's T-Core at?
And Jerry.
So T-Core is out. And in this situation, the biggest issue for Chelsea is obviously Leah and Angela. So if they were to go, it would be Mackenzie and Cam, who kind of have to target Rubina and Kimo, because Final Four with Rubina and Kimo isn't smart. And Rubina and Kimo kind of got to target Mackenzie and Cam, because Final Four with Mackenzie and Cam not smart. Chelsea's winning the game. So that is a path for Chelsea. I feel like she's in a way the front runner if these HOHs go the way they go. Now, if someone like Angela wins.
And we were just discussing that before we got on the podcast. Even if Angela were to win HOH, let's look into who she would nominate. So over this past week, she's been making a lot of deals with Rubina and Kimo. She has a good relationship with Mackenzie. It seems like the likely nominations will be Chelsea and Cam. If Chelsea and Cam were the final nominees by the end of this week, I do not think Chelsea goes home. The people voting would be Leah, Rubina, Kimo, and Mackenzie. She for sure has Kimo, Mackenzie. In my opinion, unless Mackenzie full on flips on this girl, which would be a monster move from Mackenzie at this point in the game. If she grabs Rubina and say, we're sending Chelsea home, nasty.
God forbid.
Nasty.
God
but
forbid.
I just don't see Mackenzie fully turning on her in that way. Yeah. Now, MJ has shocked me before, so I don't know. It's just, I just don't see that happening, especially with the type of gameplay that Chelsea has. Chelsea's a very reassuring ally. She's always in your face. I don't see Chelsea, no shade, being like T-Core and not campaigning all goddamn week. Like, she is going to be on their asses. So, yeah, they could evict her in a tie.
Yeah, if it did tie, like if it was Rubina and Leah,
Kimo and Mackenzie, I think will vote together.
I would think so.
I don't think Leah and Rubina would vote together, or Leah and Mackenzie would vote against Chelsea. Like, I don't see that dynamic happening personally, but child, it could.
Yeah. So let's hope for the best, which is that it doesn't happen. Another situation in that is like, I mean, either of them could win the veto. It's getting kind of even with the comps because Chelsea has won 3 competitions. Mackenzie has won 2. Leah's won 3. Angela's won 3. So it's like with that group of people, it's a little even. Like, I wouldn't just count Mackenzie out of the veto or Chelsea out of the veto. And either one of them could use it on Chelsea. Cam could win and use it on himself. So even in that like negative scenario, it could be even better because Cam could be off the block and he could be voting, or Chelsea could just save herself from the block. So hopefully we just don't have to worry about it. So let's not give it energy. But yes. So with this new kind of house structure, I would say Angela and Leah are locked in. I would kind of put Mackenzie in between Angela and Leah and Chelsea and Cam.
Yeah.
I feel like it's way more giving that. It's way more giving like they're here, Angela there, and Mackenzie's like in between the two.
And this is why T-Core going home was not that good, because Mackenzie also has a connection with Rubina.
Yeah.
So Mackenzie is now the more insulated person in the game right now. If she takes this shot at Chelsea, she becomes the front runner. Bad.
100%.
Now, I don't know if that's necessarily the move that she needs to make, only because Angela and Leah would choose themselves over Mackenzie.
Yeah.
for sure. And she knocks out someone who is her closest ally. But we've said it several times that Mackenzie should not go to the end game with Chelsea. So it'll be interesting to see if she comes to that conclusion herself this week, knowing that Chelsea can go home.
Mm-hmm.
If Chelsea and if T-Core and Chelsea go home back to back, girl,
Girl. I don't stop.
like,
We gotta stop. We gotta stop saying that. We
I'm
gotta stop
just
saying
saying,
that.
the person
And
that will
then
become, y'all would hate it.
I don't think Rubina and Chemo are. I wouldn't even consider them like necessarily a duo. They were very tied together via T-Core. I know they have a relationship, of
Yeah.
course.
They have
But
their individual relationship, so I can see. I would consider them tied together. I will say Rubina had a conversation with Mackenzie, and they were discussing maybe nominating Chemo. Mackenzie feels like she can fully get Rubina to turn against Chemo.
yeah,
Which, if Rubina wasn't so persuadable,
yeah,
I would disagree with that. But I do feel like if Mackenzie put in work, that maybe Rubina could flip on Chemo, because she almost flipped on
agree.
Chemo a few weeks back when Mackenzie threw it out there. So
I agree.
I don't know, but I feel like Chemo has nobody else. So I feel like Rubina, for that simple reason, would be like, I can't touch Chemo.
Yeah, I see that as well. So it's kind of in a way three duos and Mackenzie in the middle. And that's a little bit too Mackenzie-y for me. So we really need to see some turn up with this
That's like, at
HOH.
this point,
No
girl,
say.
depending, like, can Mackenzie even beat Chelsea in the final two?
No.
No. I
The
don't
two
know.
people, because
Angela and
T-Core,
Leah like her, Rubina like her.
yeah, but T-Core being in jury, and I say this all the time, the most influential person in jury, if you have their vote, then it's going to be very solid for you. I think T-Core being in jury, especially with Quinn, who are very they were more of the gamers of these other people who are options to be in the jury. They're going to be very adamant about who they respect, and both of them respect Chelsea. So both of them being the first two in there, I think it could become just, if Chelsea gets to the end, Chelsea's winning. And it's like, that's going to be hard to campaign against. Even if someone like Leah goes in and doesn't like Chelsea, it's going to be hard if the first three jurors are Chemo, T-Core, and Quinn, who have been telling each other for 3 weeks exactly Chelsea's winning. Exactly, Chelsea's winning. Will Leah come in, if she says something different, they probably gonna be like, "Girl, shut up. Chelsea's winning. Get over it and move forward." So I think it's gonna be extremely hard to change the narrative of Chelsea should win over everybody, with the way the jury's stacking up. This is actually like the perfect like order for the jury. I feel for Chelsea. The quicker her rooters are in the jury, the better, because they're gonna be there all summer telling people to vote for her. So I think she's going to be in a very strong position jury-wise. She just really has to get there. This competition, this HOH is very important. So I'm actually excited. We got to wait for the East Coast airing, don't we? For we to see the results. I want to see the results now. Period. But yeah, honestly, very simple week because of the janky shit. Very boring. Not much to talk about. T-Core did go home, and we can talk a little bit about what led to that.
Yeah. I think the key word definitely is complacency when it comes to T-Core. A lot of the negative things that I feel like a lot of people were clocking in her game was the fact that she would come up with these strategies, she would come up with these ideas, and she would not act on any of them. And her social game was so good that it really didn't matter. Things really kind of worked out for her because people respected her in the game, and it kind of moved for her. But it got to a point this week where the complacency mixed with the opportunity to take her out or put her on the block, it all came tumbling down. I mean, there was still a chance for her to stay, even with getting renominated. I do feel like she could have flipped Cam and Chelsea over to her side. Chelsea and Chemo was already going to do it. She really only needed to flip Cam. She could have even had Mackenzie on her side. I truly feel like that could have been the case if she had been putting in the work with these people. She nominated Cam, which wasn't a big issue, but because he still was saying, even after being nominated by her, that he wants T-Core in his final three. Yep. T-Core never spoke to Cam in that light. She even told Chelsea that she did not prioritize Cam, which I do think that was a bad idea on her point. Cam was loyal to her. There was no reason for her not to prioritize Cam. And then someone like Mackenzie, she has been saying for weeks how much she loves Mackenzie, but has never told that to motherfucking Mackenzie. So Mackenzie don't know how much you love her. Mackenzie is thinking you would nominate her, and T-Core would nominate her, but she also doesn't realize that T-Core doesn't want Mackenzie to go home. She wants her to stay. She wants her in the end game. So I just feel like if she was just a little bit more active with telling people how she feels about them, reassuring her allies. She really only reassured Chelsea, Rubina, and Chemo. Like, there was no reason why Leah and Angela felt threatened by T-Core. She should have had an alliance with Angela and Leah. She had an alliance with Angela that she
Yep.
never respected and never wanted to continue a relationship with her in. And I understand that she just doesn't like her, but it's like, that's not how you play Big Brother. You have to be like Chelsea. You could tell Chelsea don't like these bitches.
Yeah.
They'll never know that. They'll
Yeah.
never know that at all. So I just wish that she was just more in the game on the strategy side of things. She had the right ideas a lot. She just didn't act on them. So this week, I'm not shocked that she went home. A lot of it is because of her own complacency in the game. And that's unfortunate. I don't think it like fully diminishes her as a player, because there are some people, especially with her going home 8th, they would say she's a terrible player and just leave it at that. I do not think T-Core is a terrible player. She's 23 years old. The girl has social anxiety. I understand some of those things. And to be such a young age and how mature that she is, the type of power she held in this game is very rare for the archetype that T-Core is. So I don't think that she's a terrible player. I think she's not a fan, which is another reason why she was so complacent, because she just truly didn't know the game as much as she need to know it to actually play it. And I feel like it was some of her own insecurities that kind of got in her way. And that's unfortunate, but she's another one of those players where if she comes back a little bit older, because we have to remember she's 23. The girl is literally 23 years old. If she comes back a little bit older, I think that Tikora could win Big Brother, because she's so well respected. It's just she needs to learn how to manage her threat level, and you do that by creating relationships with people. And as the weeks went on, she really only made sure she had relationships with the same 3 people.
Yeah. Shout out to Theodore. Theodore says money for T-Core's BB funeral.
Thank you, Theodore. That helped pay for the expenses.
Period. And I agree. I think she could have won this season. Like she really, of course, dropped the ball a little bit. But even despite her dropping the ball a little bit, she was so good at the social game aspect that if just the comps went differently, and she probably could have won this season. And a lot of Big Brother is luck. And sometimes the way the comps turn out are just luck being on your side. If someone like Cam won this HOH, Cam probably wouldn't have necessarily targeted her with his own HOH and something like that. And he was top 2. So it's like, it really does come down to kind of the luck of the draw sometimes. And if this was like a multiverse, this same season T-Core could have won. She was a very good contender for the win. She played amazingly. She's still top 2 players this season. And that's just on period. Sorry. I feel like she has a defeatist attitude, though. I feel like she even kind of like acknowledged it a little bit this week. She's like, dang, I wish I wasn't feeling so negative about everything. And it's like that was really the issue. She did feel that. She did feel negativity about her position, and kind of like a lot of the times it felt like you could do so much. You could take control of this game. And she almost just didn't seem like she wanted to, or she kind of felt like she couldn't, or something like that. Even back when they did the flip and stuff, a lot of it felt like to me that she felt so on the bottom, when it's like, you were on the bottom, you weren't on the top. But it almost seems like she goes to the extreme when she's put in certain situations. And it probably is her youth. And it probably also is like her anxiety that she talks about, because it's like, it's almost like, when she feels on the bottom, she feels all the way on the bottom. When she's nominated, she feels all the way out of the game. Like, she felt out of the game when she got nommed. And it's like, damn, not you feel all the way out of the game. Her campaigns were like sometimes bad. And it's like, no shade. Like, Angela was like, well, can I ask you a few questions? And she's asking her questions, and every answer I'm like, why are you saying that to Angela? Angela's like, why did you nominate me on your HOH week? And she was like, honestly, it was just gonna have to be you. She's like, well, who are you considering as the renom? And she was like, it genuinely was Leah. Leah was a big consideration of the renom. And it's like, damn, T-Core, like, you don't have to tell this lady all of the, lie to her. I don't know. It was just seeming like she just seemed out of it. And then this Janky World twist was very terrible week for her to be on the block for the first time as well. So I just think it was a lot going into it. And then she just had a lot of feelings and emotions towards her position as well. And I feel like it really all kind of conglomerated together to her campaign, which wasn't that good. So very unfortunate. This is my queen, though.
She didn't start campaigning until like Wednesday. And it's like, girl.
Yes. So, yeah. Very unfortunate for my queen. She's out of the game. Y'all can start asking us questions if y'all want. We can just look at this draft, which is still frightening to me. Now,
when I lose somebody, because I lost my front runner, but now Mackenzie becoming the front runner, it's like, you will never get me down.
It's never safe. So I'm never gonna feel comfortable. This could just be Rubina, and I wouldn't feel comfortable. But the pick, I did a good job. I'm gonna be proud of myself because on the overall aspect of my team, I picked a good team. 5-2. Oh, bitch, it's nasty. But I do think Mackenzie and Rubina can make some deep runs. I am not gonna give great energy to Mackenzie, so I'm just gonna be quiet. And on my side, I do think Chelsea has a good chance of winning this week. T-Core and Rubina had a conversation about wanting a POC winner. So I think that does increase the chances for people like Cam and Chemo in the final two. Because if Rubina and T-Core are both in the jury and they're discussing who they would want to vote, if they've discussed in the House wanting a POC winner, I wouldn't be shocked if they discussed it again. But they've also talked about wanting women to win. So there's also that as well. So it kind of is a bit of a toss up with some of these other players other than Chelsea. Cam could end up getting the vote with the right person. Mackenzie could end up getting the vote next to the right person. I think Leah still has a great chance. Chemo obviously is going to have a chance since if two of his main apple scrapples are in the jury. Like it's very a run for the money with everyone else other than Chelsea. I think Mackenzie's probably top two. But even other than them, it's like them other people, they could make final two. We can't count them out. Like it's only 7 people. So if 2 of them make it, it's like, I don't know. We kind of have to think about if what would happen if Chemo and Leah are final two. Quinn would probably want to vote Leah. Angela and Mackenzie would probably want to vote Leah. Cam might want to vote. So it's like anyone could really take this game. I feel like I feel lowest about Angela though. Still.
I feel low about Angela, but I feel like Chelsea is starting to see her as a threat in the game, which is sort of good for her. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Like she's being seen as a threat, which means she's getting targeted, but she's also being seen as a threat, which means she's being seen as a player, someone that people can be scared of in this game. Yeah. And if Angela wins this HOH, this is another reason to be like, this girl is playing. So I can see it starting to shift for Angela. Maybe we haven't seen anyone in the game have conversations about respecting Angela more, but I can see a reality in which at this point she's in final two with 5 competition wins. She's orchestrated Chelsea's T-Core's eviction. You know what I mean? It's like you have to give 10s at that point.
And I feel like, honestly, I personally feel like Angela deserves it over a lot of people here. Probably 4 people here. I really think Angela has played hard. And I can give her that credit. And honestly, sometimes good. And that's more than T-Core's minions. No shade. No, that was shade. But it is. It just really is. It's more than some people who's here. So a part of me would feel like it would be a shame if Chemo beat Angela in final 2. I wouldn't necessarily love that because I don't necessarily think that that's true. But I do think it's going to be a very hard battle because T-Core hates her. And T-Core... not to say bitter, but T-Core is the type of person who, if she's not voting you, she's probably not voting you. She was very not happy with Angela, and I think it's going to be very hard to get votes. And Quinn does not like her either. And it's almost like,
not even almost really like her at all.
It's like personal. Like Angela is not it has not been the greatest person from what I've heard from the interviews when I interviewed people. They've talked about how outside of the game, like what Lisa said, no shade, like I cannot associate with you because of some of the things you've said and done that have been just nasty. And I don't think this cast would want to reward a winner who might represent them in that kind of negative way. So I think it's going to be extremely hard for her to win. But yeah, we move. Alessandro says, wait. Who do we want to host the jury roundtables? If y'all haven't heard, Dr. Will has bowed out from the roundtables. He doesn't want to do the roundtables anymore. I don't care. I don't mind. If he don't want to do it, he don't want to do it. He's kind of old. He got a life going on. So I love that for him. He's passing the baton. Great for him. Lee, who should take over?
Honestly, I would be happy with someone like Davon. I think she'll be a great host. I would love someone like Tiffany. I would love Taylor. I feel like it should be a woman like Danielle Reyes would be good too. We've had this male energy for years. It's been a white male this entire time for years. And also Dr. Will doesn't really follow the show. Like I know Tiffany, she does weekly recaps of Big Brother. So she's someone following the game. So does Taylor. She does interviews with the evicted house guest. She's paying attention to the show. I would want someone who is actively watching the show to be able to discuss jury with them. Like Dr. Will is very clear that he probably watches a few regular episodes like casuals, and then he's briefed on a few things and they send him in. Like I would love someone who goes in with their own knowledge of everything that's been happening within this game.
I do agree with that. I really like that. I also feel like, me personally, my only qualm with like a Tiffany or a Taylor is I feel like they're, at least in my mind, people from the new era are still engraved within the scope of the game. Like they could come back as players next season if they wanted to do a returnee season, or if they wanted to have back like other people half and half, like half newbies, have returnees. Taylor and Tiffany could be back in that house tomorrow. So for me, I'm like, they're still players. Like we're in their era. They're still players. I kind of would want like an alumni. Like I feel like this is an alumni's job. This isn't a active duty recruit job. And I feel like Tiffany and Taylor are more active duty. So I immediately kind of went to alumni. My first thought was like Danielle Reyes. Danielle Reyes has kind of voiced how she doesn't necessarily she's voiced how like she doesn't necessarily want to do a long form season of this again. If she was to do it, it would be like maybe a shorter version, spinoff, etc., etc. So, and then also I just don't necessarily see her easily gettable for any themes they have. Like this new All-Star season, All-Stars BB22, you know, they didn't really ask the people we needed them to ask, like Danielle Reyes. So it's like they might not even ask her. So she's someone who I'm like, okay, she was a OG of the game. She's played multiple times. And honestly, her story has been so engraved with jury that it would actually make a lot of sense. Like Danielle is known for creating the jury, literally. The jury we have now, the sequester jury. So it's like, honestly, I feel like it would just make a lot of sense for someone like Danielle. I thought someone like Rachel Riley would be really nice. I really would love her because she's such a fan.
And she's a winner too.
She's a winner. She's been in the jury.
I think they're going to want to get another winner.
I agree with that. So Rachel would be a nice one. And then Davon would be a nice one for me as well. I feel like Davon has a lot of experience with the game. She's played multiple times. That's another thing. I would want someone who has played multiple times or has been like experienced, because a part of me feels like, I don't know, like just not, you don't feel super involved in the history of what Big Brother is unless you've kind of played here and there or been in different eras and stuff like that for me. So I think a Rachel would be really cool for me. A Danielle would be really cool for me. But yeah. So those are our thoughts on that. They said, watch Derek do it. I don't need Derek to do it.
I can see them getting Derek, honestly.
I could too. He actually...
I think they're going to want someone similar to Dr. Will. So I think they're going straight to Derek or Dan.
I wouldn't mind Dan. I don't think I just don't want
boring.
Derek.
Like, I feel like you can get a whole different perspective from someone like Rachel, Danielle, Tiffany, or Taylor.
I agree. I 100% agree. Tudor says, thoughts on 6 to 8 people still in from the episode 1 move-in group. Girl, what a curse.
Mm-hmm.
What a curse.
I think, who's left? Leah
is the only one. Leah's the only one who was from move-in 2. Everyone else is from move-in group 1, which is, I mean, hey, if it's a curse, let's let it keep. Don't stop now. Leah can definitely go.
Are you saying Leah's the last one from that group?
She's the last one from the other group, which means if the curse continues, she should be going home next. No shade. And then everyone else was in move-in group 1 is what I was seeing them say. So I would be okay with the curse. No shade. Zay says, do you guys prefer a winner or someone who was in the jury? Lee already said kind of a winner. I kind of don't care. I think I want both.
Well, I wouldn't prefer a winner. I just think they would get a winner.
Oh, okay. Who would you prefer?
It really doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I kind of want.
That's not what I said.
I kind of want both. I kind of want someone who was in the jury and who like did it, because that was kind of the thing with Will. Someone on Twitter said Will was in the jury before and he was a vote to win the game from the jury before, and so it gives him this like nuanced perspective.
That's Rachel. She's the only one who really fits that from the name.
Yeah, and that's Rachel. So I would really like Rachel to be it. Rachel, people keep saying Rachel would be like annoying and would like ask annoying stuff. Rachel has grown from what I'm like aware of. Like, she is very annoying, very erratic, but I think by this time, I don't think I would think of her in the same way as I thought of her BB13 Rachel 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I think she would be a little bit more behaving. I don't think it would be that annoying for me. Especially because, like, girl, you doing a job. Don't be acting too crazy. Okay, I have a very important question. Are y'all considering to watch the Australia versus the World season that includes Sari, Parvati, and Tony? I guess we'll just have to see. I don't know.
Yes, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it all right. Let me stop. All right, y'all. Boom. This was it. We're in the top 7. We finna see who HOH. It's finna get real nasty, honestly. And it's a double eviction next week. Amen. Thank fucking God. We'll be back next week to talk the double eviction. And then we'll be back on Tuesday to discuss and rate the players again. So definitely get into that as well. We did our Survivor premiere yesterday. Every Wednesday, we will be here live after the episode to recap Survivor. And then right after this, stay on YouTube because we're going live to discuss the Challenge 40. So definitely just slide over there. Even if you don't watch, you're bored, slide over there. Thank you. All right, y'all. And thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom, bitch. We're out.
We're out.
Mwah.